Okay, I think everyone ready to start. Okay, mm, yeah. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and officially welcome to everyone to the training course of the ISO IEC 17043 2023. My name is Pawinut Jalil Sukhoi. I am the scientist particle level, a staff of the Bureau of Laboratory Accreditation, Department of Science Service, or the BLADSS. It's my precious and honor to be a master of ceremonies for today. As everyone has known, ISO IEC 17040 has been published in the new version in May 2023. BLADSS is the only one accreditation body in Thailand that has role and duty to grant the proficiency testing providers accreditation. So BLADSS is necessary to conduct a training course of the ISO IEC 2023 for the staff members of PTP. The purpose of this course is to provide the knowledge and understanding about additional and modification detail from the original version and to be able to apply the knowledge in operations process according with the new requirement, including to improve the quality system for the accreditation within time scale that Dr. Natakan Gekun Viwangos will explain further. And first of all, I would like to inform about the schedule for today. We are honored by Associate Professor Dr. Kanchit Jutpasong, who will pass on knowledge to us about the ISO IEC 17043 2024. First of all, start from the topic in the scope and then normative reference. Sorry. Okay. Sorry for First of all, start from the topic in the scope, normative different, and then term and definition, general requirements called for, and then structural requirements called five, and the last topic in the morning for the resource requirement called six. And then we have lunch and come back for learning again in the topic process requirement cost 7 and management system requirement cost 8.
Em đang còn tính quét để lấy cái tài liệu mà nó đi đâu rồi ta? Đó.
Okay, and then as now I would like to notify about the conditions for the training and receive the certification. First, please change the display name on Zoom application and then indicate a name and PT name or organization. Number two, participants must attend the training all day and open the camera when you're doing the learning. And number three, participants must enroll 2 times in the morning and the afternoons as the following in Zoom chat or scan the QR code. And number 4, we will take a photo when I finish the open the ceremony, open the training, and at the 10:30 a.m. Please and you can please turn on your camera. And number 5, everyone will receive the certification if everyone follows all the condition. And the last is there is not recording the training for the distribution. Okay. And this time, I would like to invite Dr. Natakar Gekum-Vivongos, scientist, senior professionals levels to explain about the proficiency testing provider accreditation according to the ISO IEC 17043 version 2023.
Good morning, everyone. According to the announcement of Bureau of Laboratory Accreditation, Department of Science Service, on behalf of BLADSS, I would like to introduce you about the condition and regulation of the new ISO IEC 17043 2023 conformity assessment as a general requirement for proficiency testing has now been public since the 8th of May 2023. And also the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation, or ILAC, has agreed that there shall be a 3 years transition period from the date of publication. It means until the 8th of May 2024 onward. Yeah, so you need to transition and to be version. Okay, so your condition is since the 1st of November 2023 onward, BLADSS will conduct the assessment accordance in 2023. So it means you can apply for the version of 2023 from the 1st of November 2023. Or it's okay for now because we have 3-year transition until 2026. So it means the second option for you is since 8th of May 2026 onward. The quality system of accredited PTP shall be implemented and granted in accordance in version of 2023 in 17043. And the BLADSS will issue the certificate accordance of the version of 2023 ISO IEC 17043. Otherwise, the accredited PTP shall be suspended certificate. So that is your option. But for the general condition that for the new applicant, proficiency testing provider, the new applicant, you can apply from the 1st of November 2023 in version of 17043 2023 to apply to BLADSS, or from the 8th of May 2024 you can apply from the version of 2023 to apply for BLADSS. So this is my project to give you information about the new version of at the transition period. Anyway, for the next 3 PTP, which is Pasteur and Nihe and also QCC Hanoi, that I'm going to on site in the future month, so we can discuss more about this. But I also give this information to UMP and also Ho Chi Minh. And anyway, if you got any information or any question, you can ask me during a day, because our whole day we have a training course for this whole day, and we have a staff that you can give a question in the chat room, or you want to ask me in person is willing, feel free to ask me, and please enjoy your training course today as well. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. First, and then, I would like to would like to take the photo group. Okay. Everybody, please open your camera to take a photo. Okay. Everyone, if you can open your camera, please turn on your camera to take the group photo. Turn on the camera, please. Okay. Let's open it for the participant. Okay. Another people. Okay. If you can't turn on the cameras, please turn on the camera to the take photo group. Okay, I think it's ready. I have the slide number. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, once more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, everyone. And then I think everyone's ready to begin to the lesson, the training content for today. Okay, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Kanchi Jupasong to the lecture for this today.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I think I saw your face in the online. I think some of you might meet me before, but some of you maybe not. So I am one of the lecturer in Mahidol University. But today I think I will share with you on behalf of the BSS. So I think our knowledge, our experience, can discuss with you. If you want to have any question, please let us know. Okay, for the new version, I think everyone know, but this slide, most of them I got from the Dr. Kusuman Thatin, which is the nowadays he moved go ahead to a higher position now. So I think I use her slide on behalf of the BSS. Okay, as you know that the 17043 change, no, and the major change that we have to understand is not it looked like it changed a lot, but change only the some topic. So the first is change the title to align with the Casco document. Which when you compare the previous version and this version, a little bit additional of the wording in the title of the this ISO version 2023, and also the second one is this is the new one that you need to do is the risk-based approach. So it's been in every step that you do before. So usually you already done, but maybe you need to write down the document in terms of the risk-based approach, especially for the technical requirement and also the management requirement. The third is the new version is arrived with the terminology and the symbol that is updated from the ISO 13528 2022. And it's also changed in the annex. The new version update bibliography and also revise Annex A and Annex B for the Thai PT and also the statistics that I think I will give some information to you. But the most important is this version already removed the Annex C, which is the selection and use in the PT scheme. I think this is public elsewhere, so you can use and follow these guidelines in the future. Okay, for the Annex A, as you know that the PT scheme is normally at least one element of each the following feature. When we divide it into the type of expected result, we can classify as the qualitative, quantitative. The new one is interpretative. It means if you want to do the PT for the interpretative, so you can do it as a type of this result. The frequency, I think, it is the same. So you can run the PT in the single or in the continuous. The distribution format, you can distribute for simultaneous or sequential from 1 to 1. So this is the not changed anymore. The process, so is divided into the pre-analytical, analytical, and post-analytical. So again, for interpretive, you can use the result and using the interpretive system that some PT intended to use. So now you can use in this version. The method for determination of the SI value, usually they already mentioned in the ISO 13528, but now it's classified as the methodological flexibility of reference value. So this is traced back to the SI unit, or you can use the consensus, but consensus based on the group of the competent participants. The last one using the consensus form of participants. So this is the one that this version already mentioned, but you can see it is already mentioned in ISO 13528, and also classify based on the performance evaluation criteria. So we can divide it into the expert judgment or regulation mandate, and also experience from the PT round by comparison with other participants, including of the measurement uncertainty of the result of a participant. So three of items above here. So I think it is already mentioned in 13528 again, but the last one is already mentioned, but this is point out, emphasize on the measurement uncertainty of the result of the participant. So in the future, but for the qualitative, you don't need to do on the measurement uncertainty, but for the quantitative, I think we can move forward into the like improve yourself, improve the laboratory in terms of the measurement uncertainty. Okay, for the content, I think you can see a little bit change in the number of the this version. So I will compare to you in the next slide. So you can see they divided into right. This alignment, if you familiar with the ISO 17021 15190 or any ISO document. So the topic is nearly the same. It's also alignment with the ISO requirement. Okay, I think this is like more detail on that one. Yeah, for management and next. Okay, for comparison here, but it is in usually this slide also on the back, but I think it's good that I will share to you first. So on the left hand side in the previous version, so we divided into 5 items, but in the new version they divided into 8 items. But you can see the inside of the previous version is right divided into 4 items here on the new version. So, but for the PTP, I think you are doing the same. But if you don't want to do much work in your PTP document, you may have a one document that you can cross-link between the new version and the previous version. You can, let's say, if you have the previous version in your PTP document, so you can have, right, when you link to the new one, which is the number of the new one. So it means in the 3 years, or maybe if you want to use it in the future, it depends on you. But if some PTP can change it, so you can do it. Because of in the future, this is, you can see it is aligned with the ISO requirement. So I think this is close. Every ISO will have the pattern like this in the future. So it means if you didn't have time to do according to the new version, you can make a cross check between each other. So I think the assessor and the one that intended to see or to understand everything will have this document. Okay, the next. If you have any questions, so you can interrupt me directly or you can add into the chat now. Because the document, as I mentioned before, that the document in general is not changed too much, just emphasize only on the list date and also the order of the document. So I think most of you that familiar with the 1743 in the previous version, you can understand and you can read. But I think for the training, I have to present to you everything. But if you have any questions, so we can discuss later or we can discuss now. Okay, the scope. The scope is already mentioned that, okay, this document specify the general requirement for the competence, and the keyword is the impartiality. That is, the PTP should have some document that to declare about the impartiality, and also consist operation of all protein testing scheme. This document can be used as the basis of specific technical requirement for the particular field of application. So the user of the PTP regulatory authority, organization, or scheme using the peer assessment, accreditation body, or an other can use this requirement in confirming or recognizing the competence of your PTP. For the normative, I think it is nearly the same, but again, because of this version also alignment with the ISO other document. For example, ISO 17 25 17034. So this is the new point for you that okay in terms of the 17043 that you have, but because of the document that you need to do is also alignment in terms of the reference material production that I will show you later. But I think this is the new version that also touch on the how you prepare the sample, how you prepare the test material. They usually to have not only the list base but also the competence of the how you prepare the test material, and also arrive with the ISO guide 99. Okay, for the terminology and definition, I think everyone that attend this training, I think you already know, no? And maybe you can listen to my lecture in somewhere that okay, in the comparison is right the big camera of the PT. So for the definition, they already mentioned about this design, performance, and evaluation of the measurement or test on the same or similar item by 2 or more laboratories in accordance with the predetermined condition. In this, it means if you want to do the interlab for comparison, you have to use the terminology and follow the guideline. Okay, the note is the term laboratory is used in this document to cover all the organization. The term of measurement or test is used throughout the document to apply any activity undertaken by the PTP. And also the inter-laboratory comparison that involve in measurement convey more insight regarding to the performance when measurement uncertainty is considered. So you can see there are much more use, a little bit, not much change in terminology, but they already mentioned to that some PTP may call the participant as the participating laboratory, participant or laboratory. So in this document, they intended to use the laboratory. The next term is coordinator. This version is already removed. So you can call anything anywhere, but you can also use, but in this document is already removed. Sorry. The subcontractor also was removed because of in the 17025 or in other ISO, the terminology of subcontractor was changed to be external service provider. So if you want to call this subcontractor in the future, we may refer to the external service provider in the future. And the individual operation within the PTP management system will refer as the internal or external employee or external advisor. Oh, again, I forgot to tell you, this slide also got from the Dr. Dan Holland. I think most of you also know who is the one that created this document for many years, and he also revised several versions from 13528 and also 17043. So this, you saw the symbol here, it means this slide also got from him. Okay, the terminology is clarify the difference between the customer, client, and participant. The customer of client, yeah, this is the organization or individual for which the PT scheme is provided to the contractual arrangement. So this means you have to have the contact before you run the PT. Usually, you can call client, but now you can use either customer or client. The participant, it means the person organization that undertake the activity related to the PT and submit their result. You see, the previous slide mentioned on the laboratory is used. In this, also they call participant. So a little bit different, but you can use both terms if you have in document. So you just understand that, okay, this is the new term that the new version is used. You can write or rewrite a little bit align with the new version. The normative term and definition are defined based on the BIM and the ISO 17000 are not defined aligned with this ISO. And any term that defined in this document or in BIM must be used in the way of PT provider, or the term must be redefined within the PTP management system. They also mention, for example, the term accuracy and outlier are sometimes used in other way by the PT provider. So this is like someone that intended to have the PTP and mention on the accuracy. So this version also mentioned that the term may be not correct when you use this, because PTP usually we use the term for evaluate, but very difficult to have the accuracy, because the accuracy we have to have the true value. But as you know that the PTP usually we have the consensus. Okay, the issue number 4 in general requirements. The 4.1 already mentioned on the impartiality. So this is like similar to the previous version. So I think you already understand on the impartiality. So the PTP activity shall be undertaken impartiality. The PTP shall be structured and managed as a safeguard impartiality. The PTP shall be responsible for the impartiality of its PT activity and shall not allow the commercial, financial, or other pressure from the external organization or external person. So this is nearly the same that you have in your document. The 4.4, the PTP shall monitor its activity and its relationship to identify threat to its impartiality. If a threat to impartiality is defined, its effect shall be eliminated or minimized so that the impartiality is not compromised. The PTP shall have a top management commitment to the impartiality. So I think the impartiality in this term, most of you, I think you will use it in your document. 4.1. 4.2 in confidentiality. Again, this topic nearly the same. So the PTP shall have the responsibility to the legal enforceable agreements for the management of all information obtained or created during the performance of the PT activity. The PTP shall inform the client in advance of the information it intended to place in the public domain. So, right, confidentiality you already have, so you can use your document the same. When the PTP provider is required by law or authorized by contractual arrangement to release confidential information, the client concerned shall be notified of the information release unless prohibited by law. 4.3. The information about the participant and customer from a source other than the participant or customer shall be kept confidential by the PT provider. Again, this is really the same, no? So you can see some document that you have, you didn't need to change in this topic. I mean 4.1, 4.2. The personnel, including any commitment member, contractor, personnel or external body or person acting the PTP provider behalf, shall keep confidential of all information. So again, most of the PTP already did very well according to our assessment. So I think 4.1, 4.2, those participants that already assessed by the SS, I think very few laboratory that got this corrective action. Until now, do you have any question? Or do you want to share something? Okay. No. Number 5, the structure requirement. The PTP shall carry out the PT activity in such a way so that to meet the requirement of this document and address the requirement of participant, customer, regulatory body, and organization providing the recognition. So the term, the phrase of organization providing recognition was added in this version through to the share element in terms of the ISO 17075. And this was intended to include the specifier and accreditation body, but it could lead to misinterpretation if such the organization has not clearly defined their requirement or are not directly involved in the planning PTP. The PT provider shall be a legal entity. This is 5.1. So again, this is the same. No? So you most of the PTP have the legal entity. Shall identify management. The PTP shall define and document PT scheme for which the it conform with this document. Number 5 is nearly the same, except some wording that I already mentioned to you in the bold capital here. Number 4, 5.4, the PTP shall carry out the PT activity in such a way so as to meet the requirement of this document and address the requirement of participant, customer, regulatory authority, organization providing recognition. And this requirement also apply to all activity performed in its permanent facility and other facility or site. So this means that you may have not only one permanent facility, you can have other facility and site in this version. The PTP provider shall define the organization management structure, specify responsibility, authority, and interrelationship of our personnel, document its procedure to the extent necessary to ensure the consistent application and validity of PT activity. So this is the same. For the 5.6, the PTP provider shall have the personnel who have the authority and resource needed to carry out their duty, including implementation, maintenance, and improvement of the management system, identification of deviation from the management system, or from the procedure while performing the PT activity. initiation of action to prevent or minimize such a deviation, reporting to its management on the performance of the management system and any need for improvement, ensuring the effective of the PT activity. So in this, it means in some PTP, they may have the quality manager or you may call other position, but in this item it means you need to have the person that can implement, maintain, improve, and to do everything. The 5.7, the PTP provider management shall ensure that the communication takes place regarding the effectiveness of the management system. The integrity of the management system is maintained when change to the management system are planned and implemented. So the number 5, there are some mention in terms of the personnel that to take care on the overall of the PTP program. But if you have the management system, you have the way how to do it, so you can just mention in your document that also you have, and you can add some new requirement here in your document. But if you have it already, so you can, okay, you don't need to change anything. Number 6, about the requirement. So this is the same, no? So the PTP, the number of requirement is changed, but inside it the same. So it means again, for you, when you need to change the requirement, you just have a cross check between each other. The previous version you in your document, let's say in 5.1, the new one in 6.1, you can have the table of change. I think the assessor can follow the cross check that you have. The resource requirements, number 6, and again they already aligning with other document here. The 6.1.2, the measurement or testing activity conducted under the responsible of the PTP related to the PT item characterization or for assessing homogeneity stability shall be conducted in accordance with the requirement of the 17075. So again, most of the PTP that already accredited, you already know that, okay, the laboratory that testing homogeneity stability for you, they should have the international accepted. So the PTP can imply that, okay, your result is good enough to ensuring that your performance score is good enough to the participating laboratory. They also have some note. Number 2, the relevant requirement and are the requirement that related to the validity of the test and measurement result, which can impact the validity of the PT activity. This already mentioned, for example, of the methodological sensibility. 6.1.3, where the PT item is a material that meets a definition of reference material, it shall be produced under the condition that meet the requirements of the 17034. So this is the new one that you need to do in your document. So this version also emphasize on how you prepare the test material, because it is the one that used as a tool for the laboratory in the future to test it to demonstrate it. So in this document intended you to have a protocol, you have a material, you have many samples that already meet the requirement of the 17034. You may not need to do the to accredit the 17034 for the reference material product producer, but only one step. It means only the step of the sample preparation or sample that you use for the PT. So you have to do according to the 17034. For example, when you mixing, when you handling, when you storing, so you have to open the 17034 and to see how they do in the reference material. But if you have the document in your PTP before, I think that most of you already prepare according to the RM producer. .4.6, the PTP provider shall be responsible to the participant or customer for the external provided product and service. So this is the term that come from the 17075. Again, this is the term that they use for the subcontract. If you use the term of subcontract in your previous version, so you have to change a little bit into the external provided product or service and service. Okay. Yeah, the term subcontract again what we mean from this version, and also added the consideration of external personnel. So this means you have to change a little bit, and these changes are intended to clarify distinction between the subcontractor, supplier, and technical advisor, and the associated need for training regarding to the PTP quality management system. Okay, for 6.1, the PTP shall have access to personal, facility, equipment system, and support service that is necessary to manage and perform the PT activity. The measurement or test conducted under the responsible of the PT provider related to PT item characterization or assessment homogeneity and theory shall be conducted in accordance. This is the previous slide. Again, this is come from the Dr. Dan Torrent, but this is in the 6.1 and 6.2 that mentioned. I think you can follow the requirement here. 6.1.3, the PTAN is a material that meets the definition of reference material. This is which Dr. Dan Torrent already mentioned before. And again, for your document, you can come back and to see in your sample preparation or preparation of test material or document that you have in terms of the test material that you use, you should follow the 17034. Okay, for the diagram that you can see from the document is in the ISO 17034 is covering the IMP competence. They aligning with many documented, but for us or for the PTP, usually you just using only one item is the sample preparation only, So this document just to show you how the linkage between each other for the other ISO. For example, they also have a working group, different working group that to do for different term, different requirements, and also they will move from the guideline to the standard here. 6.2 for the personnel. For the PTP shall have the access to a sufficient number of the competent personnel to perform the PT activity. So this like also mentioned on the sufficient number. Usually, PTP usually have not many people to work with, but that is not a number, but is mentioned on the competence that you have to have. Let's say you have to have the one that can understand in the statistics, the one that can understand in the management system, and also in the other step of the PTP. The 6.2.2, the PT provider shall ensure that the personnel that have the competence to perform the PT activity, and also evaluate the significance of deviation. In this document, again, they usually mention on the list-based approach. So you can see that the evaluation significant deviation is sometimes when you work with the evaluation, but if something that deviates from the one that you plan, maybe this also need to mention. But in this course is mentioned on the personnel. So it means you have to have someone to take care to do like the in general you can have the advisor or you can have supervisor to take action on the deviation, like to see the overall of your PTP program. 6.2.3, the PT provider shall have the process for managing the competence of its personnel. All personnel of the PT provider that could influence on PT shall be act impartially. Again, the PTP provider shall have the documented information demonstrating competence of its personnel that can influence of the result of the PT activity. So if you have some document in the personnel, so you can just to think about, okay, if you have someone that related to each activity, you have to ensure on the competence of that part. For example, you can have checklist on the education, qualification or training or technical knowledge or skill or experience that personnel have. But I think this course generally for the PTP, when you intended to run the program, I think you already selected the one that's suitable to the PT activity. So just to be aware on this requirement. 6.2.6, the PT provider shall authorize personnel to perform specific activities within the PT scheme, including but not limited to the following PT plan. I think all of you already have the planning. This is the previous version already mentioned on the planning, but you have to have the authorized personnel to access the data information, to evaluate the performance, to give an opinion and interpretation or advice of the participant, and to review and to authorize the PT report. Again, according to my experience that I access you, access the PTP. Usually, most of you already have the one that suitable personnel to perform this activity. The PT provider management shall communicate to all personnel. So this is a one that may be very difficult to access. How you communicate by email, by documented, or by meeting. There are many ways when you using the term of communicate. Okay, until now there are some topic that already mentioned. Do we have any question until now? No. It's good because of you have experience and you already, I think the participant in this group already passed the assessment before, so it is very useful for me that okay, you have some background, but for the new version it's just mentioned in some part, some word, or some item. For me, I think when we read the new version, I think the new that you have to do is the list based. It means in every step you have to identify to do the list management in each step. And the second is you have to do the cross check between each requirement of each other from the previous to the new one. But the other, I think most of document is not changed too much, but you can follow by yourself. But because of the training, so I also try to. It look like very boring that I read the requirement for you, but okay. When I add some comment, I think it will give you some more clarification. But if you have any question, so you can ask me. Okay, if not, so I will continue to the next item on terms of the facility and environmental condition. Again, this is for the new bullet. So in the previous, I can't remember again. It is in the previous version they may in the 4 point something or 5 point something. 6.3.1. To ensure the validity of the activity, the PTP shall ensure that there are appropriate facilities. The previous appropriate the number of the personnel. In this item also appropriate the facility. 6.3.2 the PTP shall ensure that the environmental conditions do not compromise to the PTP activity, including the operational that are undertaken at site away from the PTP permanent facility, or that are undertaken by external service provider. So if you have some lab, or in this term we call the external service provider, so you have to monitor, you have to observe the environmental condition in that activity. The PTP shall document the environmental condition that can influence the validity of the PT item, and any measurement or test carried out, including the conditions that are required by a relevant specification and the measurement of all the test methods. The PTP shall control, monitor, and periodically review these conditions and shall record all relevant monitoring activities. If you have the 17025 or 15189 in your lab, This is you already done in as a routine, Every day, some staff, record the room temperature, record the refrigerator, checking the balance, to do everything. So this is the same. It's alignment with the 17 other ISO 17025. Six point 3.4 access control to and use of area affecting the PT activity shall be managed. So if you have some area that have some may cause the contamination, you have to have the access control. The PTP shall determine the extent of the access control based on the particular circumstance. 6.3.5, there shall be appropriate separation between the neighboring area in which they are incompatible to the activity, and the action shall be taken to prevent the cross contamination, interference, or adverse influence on the PT activity. Okay, for the facility and ornamental, again, you can see they are not changed in terms of the one that you have, the one that you do, but change only the topic, the number of the each topic. So again, just to do the cross check. Okay, this is maybe the new one that you may did not use this term before. In this document, they use the external provided product and service, but in the previous, you may have like subcontract, or you may have supplier, you may have other section that to deal with. 6.4.1, the PTP shall not use the external provider for the following activity: for the design and planning, for the evaluation of the performance, for authorization of report. So these 3 items you already did before. So the PTP shall design and planning by ourselves, evaluate ourselves, authorize the report ourselves, because it's affecting to the participant. But other activity, homogeneity, stability, characterization, or other activity, even the sample preparation, you can have someone to do, but you have to call as the external service provider. Six 6.4.2, the PT provider shall have the procedure to ensure that the experience and the technical competence of the provider of external products and service are sufficient for their assigned tasks, and that they comply with the relevant cost of this document and other appropriate documents. Again, sufficient again, no? The PTP shall inform the participant and customer in advance or in writing of product and service that are or can be provided externally when they affect the validity of the PT activity. The PTP shall have the procedure and detailed record for the defining, reviewing, and approving the PT requirements, defining the criteria for selection of the external provided, ensuring that the external provided product and service conform to the PTP service requirements, and when and to relevant to the requirement of the instrument before they use or directly provide to the customer or to the participant. taking any action arising from the performance monitoring and evaluation of the external provider. 6.4.5 the PT provider shall communicate its requirement to the external provider for the product and service to be provided. The acceptance criteria, the competence in putting the requirement qualification and PT activity that provider and its or its customer intended to perform at the external provider permits. 6.4.6 the PTP shall have the responsible to the participant and customer for the external provided product and service. Okay, that's all for the number 6. I think much more requirement to you. So I think the time for discussion or question first before we go to further.
Yeah, Ajahn Kanchit have some questions on Zoom chat for the NIHE. The question is, what evidence we need to provide to prove that we ensure environmental conditions of the external service providers?
Okay, the document may be you for this is the inside in your organization or outside. Okay, let's say inside your organization. So if you have outside, thank you. For inside you may have like the document. Usually we have the record of if you let's say in the chemistry lab, so we monitor the room temperature, humidity. Usually we have two parameters that we monitor, the temperature and humidity. But for the outside, okay, let's say you have the microbiology. There are much more in terms of the contamination, the interference that you can come from other source. So you may have like the document that you already checked. I am not sure that I can call that document like directly, but for our lab, I have the record for a month. Let's say we have it look like the checklist that we do for every day or every working day. And in each day, we may have different time. It depends on the parameter that you have. Okay, that is for the inside. For the outside, that is really difficult for you. Because the outside, if they receive the accreditation according to 17 ISO something 17 or 151X9, so it may ensure that outside environment is already controlled by that ISO. But if some section or some organization that did not accredited, maybe the PTP need to go to that laboratory or to go to that part and to monitor and to access like you are access by yourself and to have your documented that okay you already access and you have some checklist that which parameter that you need to control. Usually it's environmental, as you know, temperature, light, humidity, anything else, contamination. So I think that are most of the environmental conditions. Are there any parameter that I'm missing? So for the question, I think you have inside, so you have just only the record that you monitoring. But for the outside, you may have to have like the monitoring system that you have to go to that service or provided external provided supply for you. So you have to have like the assessment and have some record to demonstrate to the assessor. Or someone need to discuss or need to share, please. Okay, if not, I think we can have a break for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No? But in the meantime, if you have any question or I need to discuss, just typing in the chat so I can respond and can discuss with you. Okay.
Okay. Left for the 50 minutes and come back to see in the class on the 10:45. Okay.
Yes, I saw someone, but very difficult to call your name, no. But when I look to
I call
Dr. Wan,
organization.
yeah. But I remember your face, but sorry for the name. I think it's very difficult. Okay, nice to see you all, no? Okay. Okay, take a break first.